the time in Calcutta. Poverty, father expired, and absolutely starving, literally. And sometimes this young boy, the future Vivekananda, for the sake of his parent or mother, sister, brother, used to sacrifice his morsel of food. And he had a wonderful music sense. He had learned under the great ustads, great Hindustani musicians of the time. He was a master musician. He could play bakavaj, the tabla, the sitar, the vocal. People were amazed. And when Sri Ramakrishna heard this, he went into samadhi, went into ecstasy. He says, whenever Narendra sings, he lights fire. It's not just a goody-goody singing. He lights up fire, he kindles fire. One day Narendra comes back home after searching for a job. He finds there is only one chapati left in the house. Just one. He says, I have taken enough with my friend. It is for my sister. That was the agony, the misery, the pain that he experienced as far as unemployment is concerned. He understood the pain in the people who were starving. He said something has to be done for them. All these experiences were getting stored up in his subconscious mind, later to burst out like an avalanche, like a volcano, like a tsunami over the length and breadth of India. In 1886, just a few days before Sri Ramakrishna's passing away, Sri Ramakrishna called him. He could not talk, he was suffering from throat cancer, was sinking, body is sinking, but he wanted to give something to the people. He called his beloved disciple and says, I give you everything that I have. Tell me, what do you want? And Narendra says, I want to remain in meditation, in samadhi for 24 hours into 7. Occasionally to open my eyes, eat a little morsel of food for preserving this body, and then plunge into meditation. Sri Ramakrishna, any other guru, any other master, teacher would have highly appreciated their disciple. Very good, they would have said. But not Sri Ramakrishna. He said, stunningly, what a small-minded fellow you are. What a selfish fellow you are. I thought you would become a huge banyan tree and would give shelter, would give security to people who are suffering in this world, and you want to keep everything for yourself? No, I will not allow this. I will not give this till you do the great work. The adamant mind, the strong mind that he had, he said, no, I am not interested in work. I am not interested in going here and there. Then Sri Ramakrishna wrote in Bengali, and he scribbled something in a piece of paper, which he said, Naren Shikha Deve. Naren will teach the world. And what he will teach? He will go from every house to house and knock and awaken the divinity within. Awaken the strength within, the potentiality within. Narendra had to do it. And the later part, after Sri Ramakrishna's passing away, after his Guru's passing away, there are 12 young, brilliant minds at Calcutta University. Each a pillar, each a giant, as far as their personality is concerned. Education as anybody gets, BA, MA, FA, etc. of the times. But Sri Ramakrishna gave them a different training. All of them gathered together against starvation, against suffering, but inside they were burning bright with joy, with strength, with power. And that is the first genesis of the Ramakrishna order. Not a cloth to wear, only one dhoti for 12 people. That was the condition, nobody to take care of them. Insulted, booed by the people at that time. But Vivekananda stood the test of all this, the faith, the passion, the fire that he had. He did not succumb to the criticisms, etc. of the people. He stood their ground. It was a battle of their minds, of their wits. And each one of them traveled all over the country to have a real picture of India, real picture of our culture, real picture of the traditions which Sri Ramakrishna had lived in his short span of just 50 years. And what was these young boys' ages? Hardly 23, 24. And the next 5 to 7 years is the real Bharata Parikrama, as it were. A wandering, a pilgrimage. Vivekananda took a pilgrimage. He accepted sannyasa, assumed the name of, he wanted to camouflage himself, camouflage his intelligence, camouflage his education. And he had various names as he was traveling in the country. Somewhere he used to call him Vividishananda, somewhere Sachidananda, occasionally Vivekananda, because that was a name suggested to him by his own disciple, the Raja of Khetri. Traveled all over the country, saw the uniqueness of India, the grandeur of India, the beauty of India, but at the same time he saw the misery of India. His heart could not bear. Heart was being twisted like a towel, as it were. He saw the high rise of the Maharajas, not serving, exploiting the people. He saw the poverty. And at that time a storm came in his life. A telegram came from his house. His sister, for some family problem or for some situational problem, committed suicide. And then he saw, in my own family there is this disaster, there is this tragedy. How many more young ladies, young women would be committing suicide for want of food, for want of love, for want of some affection? He said, women power has to be roused in India. Something has to be done. And he used to quote, Yatra naryastu pujyante ramante tatra devataha. Where women are worshipped, where women are respected, there the gods shower petals. And he traveled, met the greatest Maharajas. Traveled from town to town, village to village, on walk. Sometimes sleeping in palaces, sometimes sleeping in the huts. Sometimes eating with the zemindar, sometimes eating dry rotis on the footpath, on the forests, in the villages, in Bihar. He saw two sides of India. One so rich, so vibrant, so living. The other was this misery, suffering, in fact exploitation. Came to Karnataka, came to Bangalore, went to Mysore, Belgaum. All people appreciated, admired, but nobody really took serious of his thoughts. Oh, everybody appreciated, oh, a sannyasi of the time speaking high-flying English. They were amazed. And sannyasi talking about service, talking about this, talking about that. And then the climax of his journey was at Kanyakumari. In 1892, set December 24th, 25 and 26. He just went, did namaskaram, salutations to the Divine Mother, Kanyakumari, and just asked the boatman, can you take me to the last bit of rock there? And the boatman said he would take 5 rupees. The stormy evening, winter, sharks infested waters. And the Swami checked his dhoti or his chadar like this, not a penny. Had only a kamandalu and 2 books. One was the Bhagavad Gita and the other was the Imitation of Christ. He put them aside, and before anything could happen, discussion or negotiation, he jumped into the shark infested waters and swam onto the last bit of Mother India. People were amazed. What this fellow is doing, what this man doing? In the next 3 days, closed his eyes and sat in meditation. My dear friends, my hair stands on end to say this to you. For the first time in Indian religious history, a sannyasi, a spiritual seeker as it were, personally, did not meditate on God. He kept aside all gods, all mantras, all tantras. And what did he meditate upon? I-N-D-I-A. That was his meditation. India. India's past, the glory that has been spoken in the Upanishads,